You're doing real good. I won't tell you where you are. Well, we all have lives, and so many things can happen.
I would like to call to order the Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 meeting of the Danville City Council. Madam Clerk, roll call to establish a quorum, please.
Mayor Ricky Williams Jr.,
Present.
Vice Mayor Eve Ludwig, Alderman Ed Butler,
Here.
Carolyn DeToy,
Present.
James Pichard, Tom Hightower,
Here.
Barry Johnson,
Present.
Mike O'Kane,
Here.
Mike Poor,
Present.
Rick Streebing,
Here.
Sherry Pickering,
Here.
Trisha Teague,
Present.
Jaleel Jones,
Here.
Doug Arns,
Here.
John Cooper. We have 11 present.
11 present. We do have a quorum. At this time, we will have the invocation led by Alderwoman DeToy, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Alderman Hightower. Please rise.
Lord, we come to you with thankfulness. Thankful for the beautiful day you've given us to us, the beautiful colors that you paint for us during this time of year. Lord, may we always give you the praise and the glory for the good things in this life and the things that we are able to experience. And Lord, we just pray that that goodness may pour out on others, that we may think of others first and not ourselves. Lord, as we make decisions tonight and as we go through this meeting, I pray that you would be with us. I pray that you would give us kind and loving hearts. I pray that you would bestow knowledge and wisdom upon us, that we might make the decisions that not only is pleasing for Danville and right for Danville, but praises and gives you the glory. For it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman, thank you both.
Thank you.
You have before you the minutes of October 7th. Is there a motion to approve those?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. You also have an agenda before you this evening. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Yes, Chairman.
Mayor, when we get to 11D,
Yes.
the fund number is wrong. It should be 54037, not 54177.
Thank you for that change.
Resolution doesn't change, just the number.
Just the number. Very good. Thank you, Chairman. Any other adjustments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda as amended, so please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Now for my report. First, I would ask for your concurrence and appointment of a proclamation of Arbor Day as of October 25th, 2025. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Just so you'll know, this is a part of our trees, a part of our tree grant, and us being a Tree City USA. Want to also thank the Trees for Danville and the Halloran family, particularly Patrick Halloran, for all of your help with all of this. We appreciate you very much. Yes, Chairman.
With that, I mean, Patrick's here. How many trees were planted the last couple Saturdays? Planted.
Awesome. That's awesome. Great
Big
work.
trees.
Great work, everyone. Thank goodness. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. I don't have any board, committee, or personnel appointments. However, we will have a number of those for you this next time. Alderman Teague, I just wanted to verify that you did receive that updated listing from Heather this afternoon.
Yes, I did, and I did send her an email back to verify that I received it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Are there any reports of boards, agencies, or commissions this evening? Seeing none, I do have a couple of items of information for you. First of all, I just want to say, and you have to be careful when you start acknowledging folks who have passed because, man, there are so many amazing people in our community. But there are two people that we've recently lost that I think we need to recognize. One is Mrs. Jeannie Filiski. Many of us in this room had her as a teacher, and she taught me so much about government and about life. And I'll be honest with you, I think Mrs. Filiski was the first teacher that helped me to realize that teachers had lives outside of us as students, because she was pregnant and she talked to us about her husband. And so Mrs. Filiski also had us in my 8th grade year adopt a veteran, and there was a time for about 12 weeks that we went out every week and met with our veteran, and that was a huge learning experience for me too. So I'll be forever thankful for Mrs. Filiski and all the things that she taught me and everyone else. And also she was just kind and loving and encouraging. Even as adults, she would reach out to you, send you a message, and I just appreciate her and will miss her very much. The other person was a hero and a champion anyway, is talking about being a humble servant, and that's Mr. Frank Williams. Man, Mr. Williams did anything he could for everyone. I can't tell you the countless ways that he helped people. I'll never forget one day I was leaving school, and I don't know what I did, but I'd kind of piddled around. I think it started snowing really bad, and they closed school. They ended up shutting the school down for the day. I'm leaving, and I get my old hoopty stuck right about to the road over by where the practice fields are. Here comes Mr. Williams with a shovel. Now, I offered to shovel and, have him drive me out. He was like, "No, young man, you got it. Once we get you moving, we got to keep you moving." So he let my young self steer while he literally dug me out and pushed me out of the hole. And he was just kind. He was honest. And we could learn a lot from him. So our prayers are out to Mr. Williams' family as well, and to all those we've lost in recent times. I also wanted to take just a moment to speak about the library and funding for the library. There have been a lot of wild accusations going around in the community. Mayor, you wish to close the library. You're being unfair. You don't care about our community. I think that my life's work says anything but that. But just to verify, I went a couple of months ago and met with the library, and the director at that time presented me some documents. One of those documents was a formula that showed how many employees you should have as a library for a town our size. That document showed that we should have half as many employees as we should. So at that time, I started doing a little bit of research. It was also around that time that I learned that the state use tax was going to be greatly reduced, causing us to lose almost $1 million worth of funding that we were expecting. And so I asked them at that time, hey, like, what can you do? What adjustments can you make? And they said, well, Mayor, how much would you like? And I said, well, around $400,000 or $500,000, not expecting that we would ever actually get to that number, but hoping that we would do as much as we could to partner together. I'm really proud to tell you that I've had a meeting with the library again yesterday. We had a good conversation, and Mr. Denman and the executive board have assured me that although they would rather have no cuts, that the $214,000 that we have come up with is reasonable. It's primarily through elimination of positions, a couple of which are already have been vacant for some time through attrition, and then another one where they would be making an adjustment. So I just wanted to give you all an update on that so that you have facts. The last two things that I wanted to share with you are our First Friday events continue to be a great success, and we have Harry Potter coming up next Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following 2 Fridays actually. And we usually have thousands of people here for this, so we hope you'll come down and enjoy that with us. The last thing that I want to tell you about is if you haven't had a chance to check them out yet, our parks are making some big progress. So I was out at Elmwood today. They were finally taking out that old backstop, and the basketball court looks great. We're just waiting for them to put the fence up. The new playground its equipment is in, and they're also going to be doing a little bit of additional touch-up work to the main building there. They were also painting tables and such, and it's looking really good. I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our parks and public works team for the great work that they've been doing. Also, Cannon Park looks incredible if you haven't had a chance to go by there. I'm also proud that we were able to surprise folks and put pickleball lines on that, so you'll be able to play either tennis or pickleball there. We also have ordered a basketball hoop that will be affixed to the fence, and it will be hung to the north side. That way there's an opportunity for young people to continue to do that. We also got the heavy-duty fence wire. That way we could paint goals on the east and west side of the court so that the young folks could continue to play court soccer there as they have for many moons. So that's going well. And then last but not least, at Lincoln Park, the courts there look fantastic. Really proud of the work that they've done. And then the Friendly Town building is coming along really well also. Speaking of Lincoln Park, before I forget, I would remind you that we have our Boo Bash out at Lincoln Park in Friendly Town. That is going to be this Saturday from 5 to 7, Chief? From 5 to 7 p.m. We have lots of volunteers from around the city. We have tons of candy that's donated from McLean's and others. There are going to be plenty of activities. Public Works is supporting that this year. So again, come out and have some fun. You may say to me, Mayor, why are you putting so much emphasis on the parks? Because it is our hope and our expectation that next year we will be returning some recreational leagues. I have challenged our wellness manager with having 1 league per season. Right now we are in talks with the Danville Tennis Center on hopefully offering a pickleball a pickleball season this year. We are going to be having either kickball or softball in the parks again. In the summer, I'm really excited that we intend to have a basketball league, a youth basketball league again after several years of hiatus. And not only that, but if things go the way we're hoping, then we'll also be having adult basketball league at Lincoln Park. So one of the reasons why we're doing so much there. And then in the fall, we're still working on a few things, but hoping to rally and connect all of our Danville youth football teams and possibly start our own Danville League versus us having to go to Champaign, et cetera. So we have a lot of things that are in the works. I will tell you that in the budget, we have included additional money in parks and public works for hiring referees and things like that to host all of these activities. So I haven't released that yet because we still have a lot of details to work out, but I'm hoping that within the next month or so that Jess will have a tentative calendar and we'll be able to bring that to y'all. So I think that's all that I have for now. Madam Clerk, any petitions, communications, or audience comments?
We do. When I call your name, please come to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Excuse me.
DeAndre Day regarding the Central Illinois HBCU Fair.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DeAndre Day. I serve as the community lead coordinator for the Jelani Day Foundation. Our organization was established to honor the life and legacy of my brother, Jelani Day, who was a devoted scholar, servant leader, and a proud member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. While our foundation continues to fight justice for Jelani, we also remain deeply committed to advancing his legacy, service, education, and excellence, values that continue to guide everything that we do now. On Thursday, November 6, 2025, the Jelani Day Foundation will be hosting the Central Illinois HBCU Fair at Danville High School in the field house from 4:30 to 7 o'clock. We invite all community leaders and their students to come out to learn about HBCUs. This event will bring together over 25 historically Black colleges and universities and hundreds of students and families across Central Illinois. That includes Danville to Champaign, Springfield, and Peoria. But before this became a signature event, our foundation, this important work began right here in Danville back in 2014 with Dr. Katasha Butler, who started it all. Then she brought this vision of HBCU Fair to our community, and then she gave it to Danville natives Tierra Brown and David Groves, who took that mantle and pushed it forward. Now they lended us to us, and we continue to want to share that light and torch it to give experiences to students about HBCUs. So I hope to see you all there and continue to support the Jelani Day Foundation in our efforts to push the needle forward to support, attend, and spread the word about the Central Illinois HBCU Fair and the Jelani Day Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Day.
Kaisha Mays regarding gun violence.
Before I start this speech, I would like to tell you a bit about myself. My name is Kaisha Mays. I was born and raised in Danville, Illinois, aka I'm a proud and loud, full-blooded Danvillian. February 3rd of 2003, a little baby was born at Provena United Samaritan Medical Center in the year of 2003. Yet that little girl was me. I was young and full of life, hyper, and curious about the world. I like to remember Danville as a place of peace and togetherness, a place where you can walk up and down the street without fear of losing your life to gun violence. I remember going next door, at my next door neighbor's house, Miss Dory, and she would feed all the kids Jell-O. I always remember the candy lady around the block who would sell ices and hot Tito's with cheese for only $3. I also remember when my granny would get wedges from the grocery store called Prices on Fairchild Street, and we would go to Garfield Pool and swim until our legs and arms gave out. It's so much more I could talk about when I was a little girl. This should be my reality. I also remember when parks used to have family cookouts, play soccer, kickball, and even volleyball. Don't you miss those days? Now that we went down no memory lane, let's talk about the present. Let's talk about the now. Danville lost its sympathy, its compassion, its unity. Danville is now a place of pain, resentment, and most of all, we have lost our sense of community. It hurts to see parents burying their children because they lost their lives to gun violence. Or when I see someone post on social media mourning and wishing their loved ones were still here with them. I'd like to talk about a death that was a little close to home. Anaya Davis, a 19-year-old Danville citizen who was a beautiful girl with a beautiful personality. If you was in her presence, you felt welcome, loved, and safe. She was a leader, a shining star, and a light in the darkness. Her life was taken by a gun. She was shot and killed at a park where kids are supposed to feel safe, secure, and not afraid. And I was at Winter Park enjoying times with friends and with the youth community. Next thing you know, gunshots went off every which way, and her life was unfortunately cut short. I went to Anaya Davis's peace rally, and I sat in the back and listened to her mother and father. They were hurt and upset about how their city treated Anaya's murder. Naya's family was misinformed about the situation. They didn't find out the truth till they got to the hospital. No support, no one there to comfort them during their time of need. They felt alone and hurt. They felt like the city of Danville didn't care. And that's why I feel emergency response support should be taken into consideration. Help the friends during their hard times and help them feel less alone and help them feel heard. When I saw how hurt Naya's mother and father were and the pain her family and friends was going through, I felt, why did it take pain for our cities to pay attention? Why did it take death for our leaders to move or to take action? We shouldn't mourn our loved ones as just another death to gun violence or a statistic. We should look at this as an opportunity to grow and change our community for the better. This right here is why I'm speaking with you today, because gun violence is not just a crime issue. It's a community issue. It's a moral issue. It's a Danville issue. And when a life is lost, we should not be ignored as we move along. The whole city should respond. We need a city response plan that brings leaders, pastors, school counselors, and neighbors together when the moment of life is taken. A plan that tells every grieving mother that she is not alone. A plan that tells every child that their city will protect them. Denver raised me. This city has made me who I am today. And because of that reason alone, I refuse to stay silent. Please, I'm begging for a new change. I'm begging for a violence task force, a task force that's focused on youth and neighborhood. Let me just sit to the bottom. Let's make it a reminder that Danville stands for peace. Danville stands for unity. Danville stands for life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mace.
Kathleen Orrington regarding the library.
I made it up here. My right knee's almost gone. So, anyway.
Mrs. Orrington, will you please lower the mic so we can be sure to thank you?
Thank you. Well, I'll just make this little quick speech in case we could get that $214,000 back at the library. Anyway, we know that our library is extremely invaluable. It's a resource for Vermilion County that's unlike any other. A lot of the facilities and the resources that we have in this county have one purpose, but the library has at least two. The two main ones are that we need to have the expanded knowledge base for the community, so they're always researching on how they can get more things into the library that will keep our population up on what's going on in the world. And the second is that the library really helps to shape our culture. We have a complete gamut of all the different populations that live in Danville that come to the library. And I think everybody goes there hoping that they'll find some information that they need. And they always, I think, feel that the library has a very positive influence on them, that you don't go there expecting to have a fight with someone or anything like that. And that the employees that work at the library are very resourceful. They can get you guided in whatever direction that you need to go. What I was told when I asked for some statistics about the library now was that there's 22 full-time employees, but they're looking at a few being gone soon. I was also told that there are so many things that the library does that they just, you can't even make a list of them. There's just way too many to even list. Anyway, you just listed some of them when you said about the Harry Potter that's going to be coming up, and I know I've seen many times, like the parking lot across the street, including the parking lot at the library, are completely full for most of the evening. There's a lot of activities. Almost any group that wants to come to the library can come there and sign up for a room to have their meeting and talk about what they want to do in the community. There's a lot of activities there that go on. There's, of course, the computers. I think there are many people that don't have a computer, and they come to the library expecting to be able to find something on the computer that they need. There's only one person that's in charge of that, and yet I've been there before and seen like 4 or 5 people with their hands raised, and so some more staff have to go and take care of that, and that's on a daily basis. The library is also important to all walks of life, whether it's people that are looking for a job or looking for something that's going on somewhere else in the country. But I think that the people that work at the library are really special people, because they're not people that are going to be like handing out widgets. Like, do you want 5 widgets? Okay, it's $5. Buy. I mean, the library employees are very usually very resourceful and creative. They have to really talk to the person about what exactly they're needing to write that paper or to get that information. And so the last thing I will just say is that when people are coming to this community and thinking about moving here, they usually look at the schools, at whatever housing might be available, and at the library, and also the arts that are going on in the community. And there's a lot of arts that start at the library. So I think, we have to really be careful about taking anything away from the library.
Thank you, Mrs. Orrington.
That's all I have.
Thank you very much. We don't have any zoning petitions for you this evening. Are there any? We do have before you, though, the payrolls for October 10th and 17th. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call, please.
Alderman Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, the motion carries. You also have before you the vouchers payable of October 14th and 21st, as well as a special run of October 8th. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, the motion carries. At this time, we will receive our Public Works Committee report. Chairman Poor.
Thank you, Mayor. 11A is a resolution approving a memorandum of agreement with Ameren, Illinois, and a budget amendment. Move to dispense with reading and ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
Okay, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, thank you. 11B is a resolution awarding bid number 784 for the Carver Park Court Covering Project and a budget amendment. Move to dispense with reading and ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
Okay, and you do have a print passed around earlier showing the various improvements.
That's
Oh, that's not the right one.
Chairman, that's for item.
Oh, that's Carver. Okay, then never mind. Forget what I said.
That's for item 11E, Chairman.
Okay, any questions? Okay, roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Yes. Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, thank you. 11C is a resolution awarding bid number 785 for the 2025 sanitary and storm sewer rehab project. Move to dispense reading, ask for approval. Need a second.
Second.
Okay, questions? All right, roll call, please.
Alderman O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, thank you. 11D is a resolution awarding bid number 787 for the West Main Street sidewalk replacement. That's when we changed the funding numbers on. Move to dispense reading, ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
Yeah, Alderman.
Where is this? The project
The
itself.
project, it's right out front of City Hall, connecting the sidewalk here in front of the building back over to the corner.
The demo contractor was not responsible for damages?
No, there weren't damages. Actually, this was a planned thing because of the walkway in the breezy basement was underneath the sidewalk, so that had to be removed. We didn't intend to have. We planned on doing that at a later date, so that we could potentially get more competitive pricing for installation of the concrete versus having a demolition contractor doing it.
Other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, thank you. 11E is a resolution reallocating remaining ARPA funds. Move to dispense reading, ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
That's what this sheet's for. Any questions? Alderman Arns.
Just wanted to let you guys know. So I handed out this aerial view that shows the breakdown of the $433,000, so that you guys have a better idea, a visual, if you will, of what we're intending to use some of the savings from ARPA projects on. If you have any questions,
Alderman Arns.
A couple of questions. So to understand the current amount we're at, is that the total of the items in the current columns, or what does the remaining column stand for? I'm trying to get to a total expended to date, including this adjustment. And then my second question was, what other funds contributed to this project and how much out of those other funds? So what's the total project cost at this point?
wrong way. That's the wrong way. Oh my goodness. There you go.
So,
Alderman, we have Kaylee Sanchez, our grants administrator, here with us, and she's going to help.
Hi, Alderman Arns. So yeah, the total expenses to date column, that should be pretty much to date, that 20 million. And then, yep, 20,000,005. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch exactly what you said on the remaining.
Well, I'm looking more specific to the Garfield project that would include both the pool and Garfield Park.
Okay.
When I added up the current, we got to about 14,359,000. If we add that, the adjustments, add those in, then we're about 14,792,000 out of ARPA. But I know other funds were expended for property acquisitions and other things, and I'm asking, what's the total project at this point, all funds included?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I definitely don't have that number off the top of my head, but I know that we have put that number together and we can get it to you, or as close to it as possible.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, then, in addition to this, there's discussion that if there's money left over, some will be allocated towards stormwater projects, and it had some language to that effect. But I guess my question is do we expect there to be some left over, and if so, what amount? And what is that 263,000 under the remaining column?
So go ahead, Dave.
The under the remaining column of 263. The 237 in the resolution, we have 237. Or sorry, hold on a second. Let me make sure I got this right. Okay, so we have the 232,000 and then the 237,000 that are remaining that we're intending to spend for engineering services, for additional engineering services on future phases of the current project. So because we can't go out for bid anymore, so we can only go through change orders on every single thing. So anything that's already encumbered, all we can do is change orders on those POs. So what we're doing is basically trying to pre-design with remaining funds so that, and we've forecasted out, so we're pre-designing things that we know we can get done here in the next 5 to 10 years, where these designs won't be outdated. So we intend to do as much stormwater pre-design as we can, because currently we don't have anything else designed.
And Kaylee, can you explain just briefly for us about how this money can be used? We can't just decide to do a brand new project. Can you just give us a little bit of an update on that?
Yeah, so basically, since we had to have all funds encumbered by the end of 2024, any funds that are remaining after, the end of a project or due to cost savings, or say a contractor failed, their obligations and we canceled or anything like that, any of those funds must be used on an already obligated project as of the end of 2024. The problem here that we've run into is we've completed all of our projects, so we're down to Garfield Park and stormwater. So those are the only two open and remaining.
So those are the only two things that any of this money could be used for, is stormwater projects or Garfield Park. Otherwise, we would have to return the money to the federal government. Bless you. Chairman.
It would not be able to be utilized for one of the other projects?
Sorry. So since we closed those projects out, we've already, closed out the POs. I've closed them out in our reporting portal. So you can't necessarily go back and open it back up and re-obligate funds unless we already have an open contract that we can amend. So I think I have some language in the resolution, and I think it said something about how, the contract must expressly authorize amended change orders. I can't remember if I put that in there or not. Yeah, well, it says the recipient may reclassify the SLFRF funds from the original activity to another project that would be eligible under the program, including the requirement that we incurred the obligation on December 31st, 2024. So yes, we could, but then technically we'd have to go back out and rebid that work. So that's kind of what, yeah, we can't do that.
So does anybody have a sense of how much other money is in this?
In Garfield Park, in the Garfield Park and Pool
project,
total,
yes.
probably about $19 million total.
Including this money or before this money?
Yeah, we actually, I think the last number we put together was actually closer to 18 million. So 19 is probably overestimating a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Butler.
And so this money is only, like you said, allocated to these two projects.
There's only two left open.
Right, okay, and so, for example, or for some ungodly reason that there's another $50,000 or $100,000 is left. So we're gonna have to, I guess, actually find something to add to the projects.
So the stormwater itself will take what's left and then some to complete those studies.
Yeah, so the funding that's allocated there for the storm, but then what you're saying, that is not enough funding allocated for that project?
Correct. And we're doing that by design. We want to make sure we exhaust all the available funds, and these stormwater projects are projects we intend to have designed anyway. So what we decided to do is, through change order, go ahead and have the next phase designed. We intend on this design likely being more than what we're going to have remaining at the end of the project. So any remaining funds to complete the design will go ahead and pay out of 402, the sewer fund.
And so this $433,000, and then since you had a new architect design, that project will take that whole $433,000.
For design, and then once it's designed, we'll have to program that into the. Oh, okay. Yeah, the 433 is the park portion.
Yeah, right. And so because of the architect design within that $133,000 is what it's going to take to finish that project at Garfield.
So basically what we've decided to do at Garfield is we already have the sidewalk that needs to be replaced, and we already have the roads that are existing that would have been funded, had to be funded through another source such as 107 or 060 or MFT or something. These are roads that already exist. So what we're basically trying to do is, hey, these are within the park. We intend on we're going to do the road maintenance for those within the ARPA funding.
Alderman Butler, that's this sheet. That's what that 433.
Yeah, right there. I saw that there, and I realized that. I was just saying, is that enough money? I mean, as we're trying to divide this money up there, and you said that it's not enough money that's allocated out of the ARPA fund for the storm. And I'm asking the question that, is that $433,000 enough to finish this Garfield and the street projects?
That'll finish this. Then what's left from that balance will be used to offset the cost of the future stormwater studies, engineering and design.
we still have a few construction projects that have remaining contingency that we need to keep available as contingency for those projects. As those projects get finished and we have remaining funds, we will kick those over for further design on in engineering services on stormwater projects.
But don't you have a certain length of time you got to spend all that money?
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
by the end of next calendar year, so by December 31st of 2026.
2026.
We'll be well done before then, Alderman.
Alderman Orange.
So, if I understand this correctly, if we had an open project to deal with the unhoused or the homeless, it would have qualified for these funds. So we could be spending $250,000 to $500,000 to address our unhoused and our homeless individuals with ARPA funds, but there's more going to Garfield Park. The community's tired of watching money go to Garfield Park. I will not be supporting this. Thank you.
This money never could have gone for homelessness unless when we approved the ARPA plan
Correct.
years ago
From the
that
very
it was
beginning.
included
From
in
the
there.
very beginning, you
That's
should have
absolutely-
included that. That is correct. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Alderman Teague.
I have some questions about the table, and then after my questions, I have a statement just to address some stuff I researched since the last meeting. So I want to understand each of the columns and also the coloring as well, because I figured it's probably significant. So the original and the current column, those are budget numbers. So original budget and current budget, is that accurate? Okay, and then the adjustment column is adjustments as of,
Those adjustments are just change orders, or essentially what we're proposing today. That 100,000 credit down there in stormwater contingency is what we know for sure we have saved already. So those are just essentially what we're proposing tonight.
so where's the 212 and the adjustment column? Where's that coming from? Because I don't think that's in this resolution. This resolution is for the 433.
They should both, yeah, they're both on there. I think we have the total of 232 because that's what we know that professional services agreement will cost total, but the 212 is what's remaining in ARPA to spend on that.
So the 232 includes the 212?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then the expenses to date, we have some of these that are in red and some of these that are not, that are in black. So what's the significance of the red versus the black?
Those red numbers are all contracts that have officially been closed out.
Okay, so the red is closed, the black, all of the black is then still open?
Yes.
Okay, and then the green and actually I have two questions about the remaining column. So the green in the remaining column is?
That number reflects an estimated savings, but we're not exactly sure yet because we have not closed out the project.
Okay, and so then the parenthesis in the remaining column?
Oh, that is just because the contract went over by that 2,800.
Okay, so this is above the budgeted amount. So
yeah,
when it says expenses to date, the original, I got it. The original budget was $745. We went over by $28.88 and 11 cents, which took the expenses to date to $747,888 and 11 cents. Okay. This table is great and very informative. I would concur with Alderman Arns. I would love to be able to see totals. I think the where it's confusing is on, it makes sense when you have nothing remaining, right? So you can say original was, so looking at Garfield Pool and saying, okay, well, Schaumburg, the original was 12.6, the current is 11.6, expenses to date 11.6, remaining is 0. So we know that that's a total. What I'm not seeing is where there's 433, which is an adjustment, there's no total that goes along with that, because what I'm looking at is, okay, the 433 should be added to the 275, which would give me a total of 7 something. It's late, I can't do that math that quick. 710 something. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Except that's not reflected in this table anywhere. So I'm not seeing a total that shows that this adjustment is actually being added into the current number to give me a total. Because I think if you actually took that across, then you would have, okay, here's all of our totals for all of these line items. Then somebody could actually then total the whole thing up and be able to get to 18 million or whatever it is and be able to see exactly how much has gone to each of the projects. It's easy to tell, for example, with the fire trucks, because you could just add these two numbers together and the expenses to date and know that's what we spent on fire trucks. We can't really do that with the Garfield Pool and the Garfield Park portions, particularly with the park portion, because there is no total bringing the current and the adjustments together. But now that you've explained it, I mean, we could do the math ourselves, right? So thank you for answering all my questions. The statement that I wanted to make is because this came up last week at Public Works. One of the things that I had asked for, and I don't think it's in the packet, but I went back and did the research myself over the weekend. In our original ARPA plan, because one of the things that you might notice when you look at expenditure categories, and this is just for all of us and the public as well, because there's been lots of conversations and questions about this. So you have ARPA 1, ARPA 2, and then it jumps to ARPA 5 and ARPA 6 and ARPA 7, which means we skipped 3 and 4. Well, we didn't really skip 3 and 4. We originally had things for 3 and 4 that were then later cut. So in the original ARPA plan, and I looked to see if I put it in my notes, and I didn't put it in my notes, so I'm going by memory. So the original ARPA plan had money for the health center or health facility, which I think that was ARPA 3, and ARPA 4 was money for youth development after school activities. I can't remember the total amounts. I think one of them was probably about 500,000 and the other one might have been close to 600,000, but again, I'm going by memory.
You're accurate, Alderman.
So then those items were later cut from the ARPA budget. They did come back to us. I want to say it was March of 24, maybe April of 24. But I went back, looked through minutes to find what were the changes when. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's a question that I asked at Public Works meeting last week, because this was a question that had come up because a lot of people remember the original ARPA plan, but they do not remember the changes and when the changes were made. And people have been asking about, well, what happened to one of the things in particular was the youth after-school activities and the money that could go to youth-oriented activities. And when were they cut? So they were cut in March or April of 24. That information is out there. So that's how we got to only these projects. What is unfortunate is that those POs were never opened, and therefore we could not reallocate some of this $500,000 to those things. That's all the questions and comments that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman D. Anyone else?
Chairman, just as a reminder, that was something that the council voted unanimously on.
Understand that, and part of the reason why that happened is because that all of the original budget for the Garfield Park and pool, which was, if you look at these two things together, about 13 or 14 million, we were told it was going to be closer to 18 million. Like everything was going to be over budget. And why? Because everybody had ARPA money. And because everybody had ARPA money, if you took Econ 101, you understand the law of supply and demand. When you have a lot of demand, cost goes up. And if everybody's doing construction projects at the same time in every city all over the country, then everybody's cost is going up, and therefore everything is going to be more expensive. We anticipated things being more expensive, and I don't think that anybody had a problem with the plan, but I think that we also thought that there wasn't going to be money left over. So here we now are, a year and a half later, finding out that we have $500,000 left over, and we never opened POs or did anything to pursue those other plans. And hindsight is 2020. we could have, if we anticipated the possibility that there could be money left over, then we would be able to put $500,000 into one of the, other things, whatever those other things are, and I understand that, yes, we all voted to approve it, and I was one of those people who approved it because, yes, costs went up, but I wasn't also anticipating that there would be money left over, and having managed, grants myself, understanding that, well, if the rules say, well, there are some creative things that we could do, we could potentially anticipate what we might want to do later in case that might be money left over.
Alderman Butler?
And you notice you got me baffled here now there about why was it taken out there for the youth activities. Man, back then in 2024, you say. I mean, who made that decision? I know who bought it to us, or to you. Y'all wasn't on the council then, I don't believe.
We all were. Weren't we all on the council in 24?
No.
Not Alderman
No.
Jones.
No, I wasn't
Not
on
Alderman Jones, Arns, or
Hightower, Johnson. Yeah, no, not all of us.
Yes.
No, Mr. Butler was. You were on the council then, weren't you?
No.
No,
You weren't?
no.
No. Yeah, now I was at the podium with my 3 minutes. Yeah,
Okay.
might have thought I was on the council. But I
Your
was
presence was here.
Yeah, my presence was here. Yeah, concerned about that ARPA money that to help with youth programs and the pandemic itself. And that was my question, from the Jump Street. And then now I'm hearing that it was taken out from to help the youth was taken out, and I don't know who made that decision, or to convince the council to vote to take it out. I mean, that's a vital necessity, for our youth. But I understand now, hindsight, like you said.
Hindsight's 2020.
Alderman Teague, you said it was in 2024 that we changed that vote? You believe
I was going by memory, so it might have been 20. I don't know. It might have been 24. It might have been 23. Again, I don't like to state things as fact unless I actually have the evidence in front of me. So I read it, making a note of it, thinking that I had made notes, and then I went back and looked just now, and I don't have them in my notes, so I can't say if it was 24 or 23. I know it was about a year after.
It was March 24, you're right. It was resolution 2024-26.
Okay.
So at that time, you were on the council, Alderman. I'm not sure if you voted for or against it, though. I don't recall. But I will say, we have to remember, are our parks not for the youth?
Exactly.
When I looked recently, I need them to reassess this data, but when we looked at the number of youth living within walking distance of parks, Garfield is the number one. I think that they had 3,700 youth within walking distance of the park. Everyone after that, I think the next one was maybe 2,800, 2,900, and then most of the rest of them have 1,500 of them. This houses our largest youth football and cheerleading program. We have several hundred youth who participate in that. You hosted yourself for years, and I know because I volunteered just a little bit, not a tenth of what you did. The basketball league, and we're going to be bringing a basketball league back to our children next year. It's also within blocks of our two largest schools. So this is perhaps our busiest park out of all of them. I think it probably is our busiest park. It's having the most regular activity on all the time. So in that sense, yes, absolutely it is for our youth. It also helps support the property values in that neighborhood by cleaning up the neighborhood, et cetera.
Yeah, right there. That's why I had concern that because, yes, I remember those days when the city had this money helping out the youth football, the youth basketball, giving us funding to help, maintain all this stuff, and so all of a sudden, it's gone.
Alderman Arms.
Just for clarification purposes, I would disagree with the mayor's representation. Winter Park on Winter Avenue with Winterview and the soccer complex and other facilities is by far the largest and heavily used park in the system. Not a penny was spent in Winter Park. It has gravel parking lots, and so if you venture up there on a Saturday, you got kids in dust with no designated parking spaces and no way to line them. Simply having some seal coat on that parking lot would have been a heck of an improvement, and it still remains undone, and yet we found a way to spend $19 million in Garfield Park. I grew up in Garfield Park. I'm all for improving Garfield Park. Could have done a very nice job at the pool in Garfield Park for less than half of what you've got in it.
It's not even.
And that's 30 years of experience. So
That-
thank you.
That was pre-pandemic, and also I just want to make sure that we state very clearly for the record facts. Winterview Park is not a city-owned park. Neither is a soccer complex. Those are owned by District 118. We struggle to maintain
Property. The property
we struggle to maintain all of the property that we already own, and it's our responsibility to fix the things that we own first.
And are you aware we're under a lease with all responsibilities at Winter Park with the school district?
No, we aren't.
Yes, we absolutely are. It was a 50-year lease.
That my only knowledge of any leases that we have are expired.
We are not, and in fact, I believe that the soccer association and the district have entered into a separate agreement. So no, it is not our responsibility, and it hasn't been.
So the parks that are built with community dollars donated in excess of $1 million, we won't spend money and contribute on, but we will do excessive projects in the ones we own. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. Seeing no more comments, roll call on 11E.
Alderman Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Nope.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
10 yes.
10 yes, thank you. 11F is a resolution extending the ADA paratransit service agreement. Move to dispense reading and ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
Questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Teague,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane, Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, thank you. 11G is a resolution approving the purchase of a facility support vehicle for the Danville Mass Transit. Move to dispense reading and ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
Questions? Roll, please.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, thank you. 11H, under information, there are some.
One, this is the final call for rehabilitation grant applications. The application period ends this Friday at 4 o'clock at Public Works. We have seen an increase in volume, so the press and the council is doing a great job of getting the word out. There's going to be a lot. I don't have a number for you, but I'll let you know at the next Tuesday meeting. And then for a clarification that the city treasurer questioned me last Tuesday, it was a little confusing on the press release, and I didn't have an exact answer to give him. On the application and in the press release, there's a scale of income between 50% household income on a scale and 80%. And I sought clarification for that. It is, IDA wants us to track the 50% AMI and the 80% AMI. And they want that listed on the applicant sheet that we have, and there may be some prioritization. We're still seeking clarification from IDA on that because I don't know how that's going to work with a lottery. So I will provide clarification on that once I get it from the state of Illinois.
Can you please define AMI? I'm assuming it means adjusted modified income.
I believe it's area modified income.
How is it calculated?
That is given to us by the state of Illinois.
So it's just a table that,
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay.
And HUD has a different one as well.
okay, thank you.
Okay, Mayor, that concludes our report.
Thank you, Chairman. At this time, we'll receive our Public Services Committee report. Chairman Strebe.
Okay, the only thing I've got for you is items of information. We will be here next Tuesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. That's all that I have.
Thank you, Chairman. This time you have before you item 13. It's a resolution authorizing the destruction of certain closed session tapes and audio recordings. I'll need a motion and a second, please.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Yes, Alderwoman T.
Is this list the same one-for-one match to the list of what we released publicly?
No, there are a few additions that we found that the minutes have been approved and released, but the audio had never been asked for,
requested to be approved.
So all of the, but,
what we did, the majority of these, yes.
but to the point I think is everything that is being destroyed has already been released publicly. The minutes have.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
okay,
it's stated that way on
Okay.
the
thank you.
resolution, sure.
Any further discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. The motion carries. At this time, I will invite our Comptroller, Alyssa Sweeten, forward for a preliminary presentation of the 2026 budget and discussion of the 2025 tax levy. Comptroller Sweeten. Comptroller Brandon, I know you do not miss these days.
While we wait for technology, just a note, I will be able to drop the actual budget draft in the Dropbox tomorrow. We just had a call with the insurance company at like 4 o'clock today, so I got to update the salaries and benefits page on some of the information we got today. But we were working like up to the last minute to get those numbers. See, I told you it didn't matter if we trusted it earlier.
It's coming.
Why is my screen not? Oh, be careful. Cody, don't run off. Hey, one of you boys will have to come over here. Ah, there we go. Okay. So here we go. The good times start. This is the initial draft of the 26-27 budget. In the as far as budgeted spending, the general fund has spending of $39.9, with the other funds at $55.5. So total spending for next year of $95,484,746. Sorry. Of that, $12.9 million are departmental transfers, resulting in an actual net spend of $82,591,795. Specific to the general fund, we have total revenue projection of $39.9 million. 5.7 of that is coming from departmental revenues, with the tax revenue coming in at $34,189. That's a 7.2% increase of tax revenue over last year, and a 2.3% increase of the current projections for 26. Influencing factors, as we've talked about many times, there's been a dramatic reduction in the Illinois state use tax. We're seeing that as a 83% reduction, but it's being offset partially by a 7% increase in state sales tax.
So essentially the way the state use tax works is if people were buying things from out of state and it's getting shipped in, they were supposed to be paying, the seller would be paying state use tax, and that was split evenly across the state by per capita. As time has gone on, retailers are now charging sales tax rather than the state use tax. So that's based on your geographic area. So historically, the state use tax would have been split out per capita, so the entire state spending, we got our portion of it, and now it's just our actual, what was being bought in Danville, we're getting the sales tax for. We also see a slight increase in state sales tax and state income tax, and we've seen a 16% increase year to date for home rule sales tax. As far as the general fund contributions to the pensions, so the fire pension, the actuary recommendation is $5,653,653. Of that, $1.8 million will come from public safety fee, and just under $1.3 million will be contributed by the general fund. For the police pension, the recommended contributions are just over $5 million, with $1.25 coming from public safety fee, and the general fund contributing $861,000. Those contribution numbers, the fire, our contribution recommendation went up $347,000 over last year, and for police it went up $171,000 over last year. So we saw the pension required contributions go up significantly as well. Yeah.
I'm not going to suppose that I know all these things that you're talking about,
okay,
but there are two things in general that I would like a little enlightenment on. If you go back one, home rule sales tax, could you tell me what that is?
That's city sales tax.
Okay, go back one more. Department transfers, what is that?
That's like departmental transfers, the money is all separated into funds. So if one fund is passing money to another. So for example, we have three funds that help pay for our bonds. So they all have to transfer money to one place that we write the check out of to pay for the bill. So that just represents money that we move between departments to cover expenses.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. If you go back to the pension page. So we're planning to make a contribution at the recommendation amount?
Yes.
So where does the remaining money come from?
The tax levy.
So the levy abatement and the general fund contribution.
So the total requested contribution is the 5.6, and of that we could potentially that would be the levy, but we're abating the levy with the 1.8 from the public safety fee and the 1.3 from general fund. So that's how much we're reducing the levy by.
Okay.
And those general fund contributions, they come from casino and cannabis tax, and all monies that come in for pensions are split 60-40 from police and fire, or fire and the police. Enterprise funds, we have Harrison Park with a spending budget of $717,000, storm and sanitary sewer of $10.6 million, solid waste of $3.9 million, and the municipal pool at $365,000. You'll note that Harrison Park, storm, and solid waste all have an asterisk. Those funds are all completing projects or have activity that will use some of their reserve money this year. Yes.
A question on the pool. There was discussion a little while back about whether it is or is not an enterprise fund.
The pool is an enterprise fund. To be an enterprise fund, the idea is that the concept is that it makes revenue from business-like activity. So because the pool sells tickets and charges for admission, it has business-like activity.
But if our policy is that no general fund revenues or sales tax can support enterprise funds, how is that justified?
I've not seen that policy.
There was a statement that there was a state law opposing the use of sales tax in the storm and sanitary sewer fund. And I'd like to get to the bottom of that. Is there a law against it or not?
I can look into that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? In 26, 27, or actually part of this was in 25, 26, but we created new funds. These will be new to this budget. They were not previously budgeted. They are mostly development funds for the riverfront, fire station project, fire training tower, IDA home repair and accessibility program, and the HUD economic development initiative. Those are both Logan's. But those will be new to this budget. We haven't previously budgeted those. As we enter into personnel issues, in this budget, the draft includes a 3% increase to city employees' salaries unless otherwise indicated by a collective bargaining agreement. And at the time that I'm preparing this, we have 4 bargaining agreements that are either expired or set to expire before the beginning of the next fiscal year. So assumptions have been made as to what those increases would be based on, conversations that are happening in those negotiations or just trending of what we've seen previously. Oh, went too far. For commercial insurance, we just got these rates earlier this week. We're seeing that our workers' comp and liability insurances are both going up about 3.5%. The work comp is actually a little bit less than that, but as it rolled out, the total bill is about 3.5% higher than last year. IMRF benefits. So we were budgeted in 25-26 to contribute 4% for each employee on IMRF. For 26-27, our contribution rate will be 4.75%. And as we mentioned, health insurance benefits. So currently the rate we've been given is 18.5% increase over previous years. We're hoping to get that number down. Like I said, we had some promising conversations today, so hopefully we can get that number to a better spot. But as of this budget version, that's what I was working with. A 15% increase budgeted then would be for the January 1st of 27 to April 30th. So that the first 4 months of calendar 27 that belong to fiscal 27. This is a total added expense to the city of $884,000 over our current plan and on current enrollments, and as I said, continued efforts to reduce that. All of our other ancillary plans are remaining the same. Also, as I mentioned here, as the city goes through open enrollment, so we do our open enrollment in November. At that time, people could change their plan. So this is based individually on what insurance they're carrying right now. That could change at the beginning of the year. They could, change their coverage or, drop off or add people. So right now, the numbers we're using are what they have for the current year. They could change. Capital improvement plan continues to be used as a budgeting and planning tool. The CIP will be available on the city website, and I'll put it in your Dropbox as of Friday. We're still gathering some documents for that. And there's an assumption of an 8% increase on the EAV that's used to calculate the tax, calculation of the tax levy.
And where did the 8% come from?
From the county assessor.
Yeah, thank you.
He didn't have actual numbers yet. He said hopefully by the end of the month, but he was telling everybody to assume an 8%. So
yeah, thank you.
I got to trust him on that. And as we discussed last year, quite contentiously, local motor fuel tax. And at that time, we discussed that we would bring it up as part of the budget every year. And so here we have it. This is a copy of the ordinance as was written and approved last January. We don't have a pretty version yet, but this is exactly how it was written. And we said that it would be the 14.6 for gas. Is that right? Yep. And then 16.7 for diesel. And then it would be 2% of the Illinois Chapter 35, Act 505, Section 2. Sorry. Just as a reminder to myself as well, that the 35, 505, 2 is the Part A of the motor fuel tax. So the diesel is going to be 55.8 for 26, and gas is 48.3. So the calculation for diesel, the gas local motor fuel tax would go from 16.7 to 17.8 cents per gallon. And for gasoline, it would go from 14.6 to 15.6 per gallon. And that would be effective January 1st. We mentioned the continuous improvement plan. A few of the projects that we have slated to be worked on this year, some more data center upgrades because Agnell is needy, I don't know. Police cars are always in need. We have police body cam and dash cameras on here. Some replacement tools for CVM, and then a lot of pump station work at the bottom. So a little bit for everybody. And then the tax levy as being presented for 2025. The total levy would be $7,253,738. That's a 4.94% increase over last year, dollar-wise, but for the tax rate to individuals, it's actually a 4.6% reduction. Any questions?
The bonds and interest, they're being abated, what's left?
We have 2.5 years left. So it's just over $1 million. And there's in the actual budget, there's an entire sheet dedicated to the debt service.
I want to thank our comptroller, deputy comptroller, all of our department and division heads. I know we still have a lot of work yet to do, but I want to appreciate all the great work that they've done. We've been locked in my conference room for months, and they have been, and Alyssa has been staying here. One day, I think I drove by at like 9 o'clock at night, and she was still here. So I just want to say thank you to our comptroller and all of the team for all the great work that you guys have done. Again, I know we have more work yet to do, but I'm proud of the work that you guys have done so far.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Alderman Arns.
Mayor or comptroller, I'm not sure which, when we receive the information, will the reductions be highlighted that were discussed at the last meeting as far as other departments seeing reductions like the library? Will that be called out in the document that we see, or is that by separate sheet, or?
Those were, I believe, emailed to you right after the last meeting, but I can have those sent to you.
I got the list for the current year. I'm talking about going forward, and I need to see the whole budget before I can really offer any other thoughts.
So we've made out most of our reductions now. There are some for next year, but most of the reductions have been made this year because we're not asking to make the library to make any reductions for this year. That's why we've asked them to make their reductions for next year.
So we cut 400,000 out of 40 million.
I would have to defer to the comptroller, but
yes, it's not as I was trying to find if I could apple to apple it. It's not that clean, but I could go over it with you if you want to see those areas.
Yes, Alderman Teague.
The email that you were referring to, was it sent to everyone or was it just sent to Alderman Arms?
I would have to check.
It would have come from you?
Yes.
Then I don't.
It was everybody.
We can resend it tomorrow, Alderman
Public
Teague.
Services Committee.
You think it was?
I think it was Public Services Committee because I think that's where
it came up at Public Services, so I think they sent it to Public
I think it
Services.
went back to the committee.
We can forward that to everyone though, Alderman. You'll be glad to know that we do not have need of closed session this evening. Are there any items of information for the good of the cause? Yes, Ms. Pickering.
Well, I've just had several people approach me this last couple of weeks. They are really noticing in our neighborhoods about the houses being tore down and how much better the neighborhoods are looking. And if anyone would like to drive down Main Street, East Main Street, the houses that we've tore down there, it has made East Main Street look so much better. And I know we have a lot more to do, but we are showing a lot of improvements. So I'd just like to thank our administration, Dustin Brown, and all his workers for what they've been doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs.
I've got
Pickering.
one thing to say.
Yes, Alderman Johnson.
I'd like to say that this past Saturday, I was privy to attend the Rescue Missions Memorial, which was a very good undertaking, in my opinion. Also went to the firefighters memorial. I meant the firefighters memorial and the rescue missions benefit that they had on Saturday, and gave a decent representation to both of those.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. And it was great. I got to celebrate Diwali with our Indian and South Asian community on Sunday evening, and I ate good, and they sent me home with extra curry, so I was fat and happy. Yes.
Yes. This coming Saturday, out at Lowe's. Starting at 8 o'clock. The Three Kings of Peace, along with the Heavenly Beds, we're gonna be building beds for parents that has kids from I think it's 5 to 17, and it's gonna start at 8 o'clock. And anyone that would like to volunteer, we built some beds in Champaign as well, and the group did, and I mean, it's a phenomenal activity, and so we give those beds out to so we give the beds, the twin beds, and anyone that would like to participate, please come on out and experience something that we give the beds out free to anyone that's in need. You'd be surprised of, to see our kids and the parents, sleeping on the floor. And anyone that would like to donate some pillows, the sheets, and the undersheet, and pillowcases, please do so. The Three Kings of Peace and Heavenly Beds. Okay.
That's wonderful, Alderman. What time is that?
Start at 8 o'clock, I think, isn't it? Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
And how how late will you be there, Alderman? Or just until y'all finish?
Well, yeah, right there. So we usually get done there probably about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends on the crowd. Everybody has their own stations for saws cutting the beds, sanding them down, dipping them down in the stain and everything. It's a phenomenal, fantastic.
It look like a trade right there, right?
Yes, it is a trade.
Awesome.
And then when we make the beds, so we got them at the center, and so we already got about 100 people on the list. To give out beds, and we done put beds together. We put the beds together at the home, and you'd be surprised of the young folks, that loves those beds. They will last forever.
Great.
Having satisfied the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Have a good week.
Yes.
Where are you building those?
At Lowe's.
At Lowe's, man. That's your Lowe's out there.